Hi, my name is Craig Arns, and I'm Director of Sales and Marketing here at Area 419. I've kind of been around in Area 419 since 2016. When I first got to know John, I was online at area419.com trying to buy, I think, a bolt knob from him in summer of 2016, and I couldn't do it from my phone. So I reached out on Facebook Messenger and said, "Hey man, really want to buy something from you, but your website's busted." And at the time, I was working at an ad agency and knew enough about digital design and website design to be dangerous. So I said, "Hey man, I'll build you a new website and I'll trade you your rifle for it because your site's busted. I want a new rifle." And we made that deal, and now 5 years later, here we are. I'm moved across the country, went from Missouri to Ohio, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. And it's been really cool to be part of what's grown here. My background, like I said, I was working in the agency world in 2016 when I got to know John. I had previously, and then through that point, worked on managing high-level political campaigns. I was doing account and strategic development for some rather large accounts in the agency world, in agriculture, in education. And it was always a thing that I wanted to do, to work in firearms. I grew up on a farm, grew up shooting, loved being a part of it, and had kind of fallen in love with the idea of shooting long distance. When I got to know John, it all just kind of dovetailed together pretty nicely. After I built the website in 2016, we started working on how do we sell product, and it was that fall that John was like, "Hey, check this thing out. It's this muzzle brake, and I've got this novel idea for how we put it on the end of a rifle. And I've just put in a PO with a local machine shop to make some of these parts for me. But I ordered like 200 of them, and I don't know how we're ever going to sell them all." And we kind of went to work on pre-selling them. And by the time that they got to John from the shop, went out to nitride, we're all ready to go, we'd sold all of them. And he said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna do another round of them, and it's going to be even bigger. But I just don't know how we're going to sell them all, and it's a lot of money. And if we don't sell them, I don't know what happens." And I think that PO was for 500 or whatever it was, and we had sold 460 of them by the time they showed up. So from that point, it was really kind of off to the races. And for the next, 2 years, year and a half, I was working another job, but in the evenings and on weekends, I'd jump on, and it was building the website. It was making it better. It was working on building a dealer network. It was figuring out how we're going to communicate on social media. It was, write John a script for a video that he'll shoot, and then he'd send it to me and I'd edit it. And it was a lot of kind of guerrilla warfare on how do we sell product. And I'd get most of our business was done via Facebook Messenger at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, because that's just when we were in the zone, when I could really devote time to it, because I got young kids, and at that point had a day job that wasn't this. And things grew quickly until we got to the point that I said, "John, it's probably time for me to move. Things are getting bigger. I need to be there to really do the job well, because doing it remote is really me depending on a lot of other people to do things that I should be doing." So I went to my wife and said, "Hey, this thing that I've been doing in the evenings, in the weekends, that kind of annoys you and you don't really know what it is. Well, we're packing up and we're moving across the country. So, let's figure it out." The story that we've been able to tell to people is one that it's very authentic. It's very us. It's American ingenuity. It's solving problems. It's creating things the right way. It's building a business that, is something we can be really proud of, really excited about, and I think has a really rich future ahead. To me, Machine to Mailbox, the series, is about how do we both talk about the decisions we've made, the mistakes we've made, the things we've done right, the places where we were maybe scared when we got into something but got lucky, and can other people learn from what we've done? And selfishly, what are we going to be able to learn from looking at the things that we've done, hearing the responses to the things that we've done, engaging with the community? Because we're shooters, we're machinists, we're problem solvers, we're people that look at the things that we're doing and think, what's not right? What am I frustrated by? And how do we fix it? And that's kind of the core of all of our products and all of the things that we're looking at in the next year or 3 years or 5 years. So sharing that and cataloging it and having a discussion about it is something that we're really pleased with. The thing to me that I think attracts people to Area 419 is everything we do is pretty open. We try to be pretty relatable. I think that much of industry for decades has been very opaque. You know, if you come up with an idea or you have a way of doing business that's successful and it's different and it's growing, you know, you want to hold on to that super tightly, and you want it to be a secret and everything's proprietary. But in reality, I think that's a poor way of doing business. We want people to see what we're doing. We want that critique. We want other people that, you know, if they're making accessories for cameras or something for side-by-sides or fishing products or whatever it is, if there's something they can look at from us and learn, and we can build a rapport with them. I can't think of how many times we've had a question about something that we wanted to do in the shop or an idea that we had with a product that was made better by being authentic with the people that engage with us via content. So for me, that's what Machine to Mailbox is how can we continue to be authentic, and how can we continue to be open and transparent about what we're doing to maybe help other people, but in reality, find ways to make ourselves better. There's a lot of content on the internet. There are a lot of people that are making videos and posting photos. One of the things that we really want to do here is be very clear about who's giving the advice, saying the things that they're saying, and how does it really translate into what's getting done. That was always a hard part. You know, if we've not known how to solve a problem, the first place we go is YouTube, like the rest of the world. And you see somebody giving a piece of advice or telling how they've done something, and sometimes it's really difficult to understand. You know, John would bring this up from the machine standpoint. Who's giving this advice? Is it the owner? Is it the programmer? Is it the operator? You know, from what perspective do they like something or not like it? I've struggled with that too. You know, you see people talking about product or giving a review or saying something, and are they some shill, or are they some person that's going to say something nice because they want free product? Are they a person that actually uses the product? In the shooting world, I've been able to suss a lot of that out because PRS community is not that big. I get to know a lot of people. But as we've made other investments or gotten into other projects, it's been hard to understand. So we want to be really clear about that. That's why, you know, I want to give all of our backgrounds. I want to talk about what our experiences have been, so that when we're talking about how we take a product from the machine to your mailbox, what has that process really been? How have we made decisions? Who's made the decisions? What have our roles been? What has it meant for the organization for us to do these things and then deal with them long term? I think this content series will grow in a way that's pretty exciting, pretty dynamic. I don't really know where this goes in a year. I don't know what we're talking about in 2023 in Machine to Mailbox, but what I do know is we have a commitment to doing this, to investing in this, in both our time, the investments we've made as an organization, into doing good content that can be relatable to people. And I'm looking forward to the ride.